घोरकिरणैः दह्यन्ति नो मानवाः. Among the 18 books of Mahabharata, the most amazing, most wonderful books, 4 books, they are the 4 pillars of the epic. Bhishma Parva, Drona Parva, Karna Parva, and Shalya Parva. I can call them as historical records. In fact, minute to minute record. Those who go through these parvas, these books, objectively, can hardly reject them as myth. We have several voluminous books regarding First World War, Second World War, and in the same way, minute to minute record of 18 days war that happened. The first day what happened, the first day morning what happened, in the afternoon what happened. Everything is recorded. These parvas have a unique style. Up to Udyoga Parva, that was something different. Up to Udyoga Parva, we have heroes, villains, and some heroes in villain side, and some villains in hero side. A very big epic. I think matchless epic of the world. But when you start this Bhishma Parva, probably after Bhagavad Gita, heroes and villains vanish. The author is ruthless in recording the events as they are. And he never hesitates to talk the strength or weakness of the heroes and the villains. He never hesitates to talk about the virtues and vices of both the parties, Kauravas and Pandavas. And such a, I don't know, see, if you believe, from traditional point of view, I believe that Mahabharata is 5,000 years old. But if you don't believe, at least you need to believe, because this is the universal perception. Minimum it is at least some 2,500 years old. Just imagine, before 2,500 years in this world, we have such a huge record of this war. Of course, the war techniques discussed there and all, many of them may not be relevant to our days, the war techniques, but the values hidden in the war is something different. An extremely matured person like Sanjaya and his guru Vedavyasa, such kind of great souls alone can record in this way. I don't have time now to talk a lot about it because my topic is different. So, no doubt, this war is historical. The same way, if you take Ramayana, Sundara Kanda or Kishkinda Kanda, these Kandas have several supernatural elements. As believers, we accept, we do believe all of them. But here is a Kanda. What is that Kanda? Ayodhya Kanda. One can hardly refuse it to be mythical. If you take this Ayodhya Kanda, the uniqueness of Ayodhya Kanda is that it has no supernatural element except two places. One, the feast in Bharadwaja's ashrama. Second, the boy named Shravanakumara or Yajnadatta goes to heaven in Indra Vimana. Except these two places, in the whole of Ayodhya Kand, which is a very big book, it contains 119 chapters. In such a huge book, you can never see any supernatural element. Anandavardhana, about whom I was talking just before a day, a Kashmiri literary critic, he says a kavya gets deepened if it avoids supernatural elements. That is why probably Ayodhya Kanda has a unique place in the whole of epic Ramayana. It is a history of human beings. It has its own depth. Okay, it creates a mood. Okay, and it makes all of us, the readers or the audience, to merge into it. What we call as catharsis. Hope you might have heard this term. Purification of heart through a tragedy in a literature. This is catharsis. Okay, a Greek word which is quite often used in English literature. So, this kind of purgation, this kind of purification happens through this katha, a story in Ayodhya Kanda, the most important book of Ramayana. Any Rama Bhakta feels to taste this Kanda, a matured book, again, which records the history minute to minute. Is there anything unbelievable in Ayodhya Kanda? There is only one thing which is unbelievable in Ayodhya Kanda. What is that? Sacrifice. Can humans sacrifice like this? Can humans renounce like this? This is the only unbelievable thing in Ayodhya Kanda. Probably there may be some gods and goddesses, the characters, because humans, we don't expect humans to sacrifice like this. Can humans be such selfless? Is there any other story which records this much of selfless beings? And this Ayodhya Kanda is no doubt a historical record because it doesn't have any supernatural element. In Mahabharata, 4 Parvas are historical records. They also don't have any supernatural element, or hardly, rarely they have. When you go through the critical edition of Mahabharata. But the uniqueness of Ramayana is In Mahabharata, the author records the history of war. In Ramayana, the author or the poet records the history of sacrifice, records the history of selflessness, virtue. This is very, very, very interesting. As Mahabharata's four parvas deal with 18 days, Ramayana's Ayodhya Kanda deals with probably a month. That's it. A month story. As I said, the unbelievable thing here is renunciation. No character in this epic is a sannyasin. Renunciation is sannyasin's dharma. If you see renunciation in a sannyasin, it may not be a wonder. But here, all these characters are grihasthas, householders, and family men, and they sacrifice. They are selfless, unimaginable. It's a story of selflessness and sacrifice. And we don't know how many years Rama lived in this mortal world. Of course, he continues to live with us. He is eternal. That's another matter. When he was born here, several years he had lived. But all those years, Maharshi Valmiki did not record. He records only the story of 14 years. What is so great about these 14 years? Sacrifice, Tyaga, selflessness. That is why he records. Valmiki is not a biographer. Ramayana is not a biography. Because biography should have anything and everything regarding the character. Regarding the central figure. Okay. The epic doesn't have. Someone asked me, why Lakshmana's wife is not spoken? And who is the father of Manthara, one may ask. If it is a biography, it will include everything. Valmiki has a purpose. He has a theme. Anything happens that contributes to the theme, anything which gets resonated to the theme, only that Valmiki focuses and writes. Other things he skips. Say, Rama entered into the forest. This is how the third book starts, Aranya Kanda. We think Valmiki is going to record all 14 years. First, he is narrating how Rama came to see Rishi Sharabanga, then Sutikshna, then Agastya Muni. In between, he just skips 11 years. Just in one or two lines, he says, this is how 11 years went, finished. Sarabanga, Sutikshna, etc. Sarabanga and Sutikshna are samples where Rama stayed in ashrama. This is how 11 years went. He ruthlessly skips all 11 years. Because why all those 11 years events are not recorded? Yes. Valmiki is not a biographer. Okay. He did not come to record the biography of Rama. His focus is different. He has a theme that anything which fulfills the theme in Rama's life history, he records. That's it. Okay. You should not ask Nala and Neela where they married, who are their wives. These things will not come in Ramayana. Okay. Anyhow, Here in Ayodhya Kanda, we see a month's story, which is just a sacrifice. Why this sacrifice happened? Okay, let me take that topic first. I'm going to analyze. I'm not going to narrate the story now. For next, that is why it's not in the form of Harikatha. I planned to analyze in the remaining an hour. Okay. Um, why Rama sacrificed? It's a very important question. From a peripheral look, all these things appear to be very simple. He sacrificed because he is an obedient son. He obeyed his father, he obeyed his mother, therefore he sacrificed. Okay? Is that the reason or anything else? Yeah, what kind of dharma? What is the dharma? That question is there. We can again interpret this obedience to the parents is dharma, therefore he sacrificed. Is this such a simple story? One fine morning, father ordered the son to go to forest, giving up the kingdom. Therefore, Rama went to forest. Is that the reason? Is there anything more? Dharma is a very good answer. Some people may give mystified answer. Don't go to that. Then you will not appreciate the story. Mystified answer means unless he goes to forest, he can't kill Ravana. This is a mystified answer. I'm not telling that it is wrong. This answer is not wrong. But this Ayodhya Kanda framework, it is a human story. As Maharshi Valmiki, we also should move from moment to moment in this story. You can't appreciate if you bring all those things here. Okay. Rama is an incarnation. He has a plan to kill Ravana. Otherwise, evil forces cannot be destroyed. That is why he goes to forest. Something like the Ramayana of Balram Das. Have you heard of Balram Das? Odiya's Ramayana. Ramayana found in Odia, it runs like that only. Kaikeyi says to Dasharatha, Kaikeyi is very upset in Odiya's Ramayana. She says to Dasharatha, oh, you are planning to crown Rama, then how can he go to forest to kill Ravana? He needs to go to forest to kill Ravana. That is the Vishnu incarnation. He is in Vishnu incarnation. This is how Kaikeyi demands. And Kausalya is crying, Rama consoles, don't worry ma, I am Narayana avatar and I need to go to forest, otherwise I can't kill Ravana. That's why I am going. That is more important than my coronation ceremony. This is how Rama consoles Kausalya. If you go through the story in that way, you will miss the beauty, you will miss the aesthetic sense, or you will miss the mood which is created by Maharshi Valmiki in Ayodhya Kanda to purify your heart. Valmiki conveys some other thing. Yes, definitely, obedience is one of the answers. It is a peripheral answer. Something more than that. If obedience alone is enough to convince Rama, she needs not who? Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi doesn't need to get a pratigya, a shapath from King Dasharatha at all. Kaikeyi by herself can call Rama and order, I am your mother, go to the forest. Finished. Here in the story, there is something called a pratigya which is involved. Pratigya, I don't know how to translate it, can be poorly translated as swearing. No word can match pratigya, probably pledge. Promise, promise is used even for trivial things. I promise to come tomorrow. Yeah. You failed your promise. Even for trivial things, promise is used. But pratigya is a very rare thing. Okay. Having the witness as devatas by the name of someone, a person takes pratigya. Okay. And on those days, people took this pratigya very seriously. If one makes pratigya, he must follow it. Okay, that was the idea. He can't break that pratigya. Pratigya was so significant on those days. Why? Why it was significant? Why it was so significant? Because in Dharma Shastras, it is told that Vyavahara is based on Sathyam. Vyavahara means transaction. I'm not talking about a philosophical Vyavahara. In Buddhism and Advaita, you use the word Vyavahara to show Vyavahara Satyam. Correct? Empirical reality. I'm not talking about that. Vyavaharam in Arthashastra. Vyavaharam in Manusmriti. What is that? It has only two meanings. One, transactions found in business. Second meaning, transactions in court. Those who seek justice in court, they are in a transaction that is also called as Vyavaharam. This Vyavaharam gets spoiled by breaking pratigya. A very important thing to be observed. Otherwise, we can't appreciate the story of Ayodhya Khandam. See, in a court, what to say? I can't call him as convict. Convict, yeah. Convict makes a pratigya. Whatever I am talking here will be true. I will not lie in the court. This is what a convict says, and he makes a pratigya there. Hope that this is followed in England also. In India, they do. They do pratigya. And in India, generally, they do pratigya on Bhagavad Gita. See, this is Gita Mandir. Placing the hand on Bhagavad Gita, they do this pratigya in India. Here, probably Bible, I don't know. In the court of England. Depends on the religion. Huh? Yeah. So, it's not only the convict who does this pratigya, but also the witness. Correct? So, let us closely observe this point. This witness or convicts, they have high responsibility to protect that pratigya. If they start to break the pratigya in the court, then breaking pratigya will become a culture in society. More and more people will start to follow that culture. It will become a fashion. It will become a kind of fashion. And some people may become proud. How smartly and cleverly I broke pratigya and came out of prison. This is so they will be proud of it. Normally, the people must take the pratigya seriously. Okay. If pratigya is not taken seriously, what will happen? If witness break pratigya, if convicts break pratigya, if this becomes a day-to-day affair, then we can't find who is a criminal. Innocents may be imprisoned, criminals may be released. If this is the case, then criminals, society will be infiltrated with criminals. This will increase theft, robbery, corruption, bribery, gradually leading to bomb blast, so on and so forth. You can't find out who is an innocent citizen and who is a terrorist because it has got habituated to lie in a court. We should not give up this grip. In society, generally, humans should not break pratigya in the court. If a majority follows the path of not breaking pratigya, holding pratigya, then the society is safe. In the same way, in business also, I am taking a loan, I make pratigya. Next month, I will repay. This is a pratigya. Is it called as bond? I think. And if someone breaks it, if a majority in a society breaks it, society will go into chaos. Vartayam samsritaha tata lokohi sukhamedate. Beautiful. Ramachandra says in the 100th chapter of Ayodhya Khandam, he says to Bharata, the whole society is Varta-centric. In fact, Varta has two meanings. Varta means business. Varta means word. And they are interconnected. Business becomes corruptionless and perfect only when the word is kept. Integrity. Vartayam samsritaha tata. Only through business, this nation ruled the whole world. Business is extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. If we lose integrity in business, we may grow. That's a shortcut. But in due course of time, people will run away from us. If they start to realize that we are liars, if our integrity falls, if they don't feel us trustworthy, people will run away from us and we will end up with a very big failure in business. Okay. Lying may help only for a short time. So, if all people start to lie, then loans will not be repaid, then the nation's development will fall. Please understand. So, both in business and the court of justice, you need pratigya keeping of the word, or Sathyam or pratigya. That is how pratigya becomes extremely important. Rama goes to the forest, Rama sacrifices the kingdom for the sake of this pratigya. Very important. Okay. Pratigya keeping is the most important dharma according to Rama. Okay. According to Rama, Sathyam is the most important dharma. That's what Rama says. Satyat nasti param padam. There is nothing greater than Satyam, he says. We all call Rama as God. But Rama says, truth is my God. Satyameva Ishwaraha loke. Satyam padma srita sada. Satyameva akshaya vedaha. Satyan nasti param padam. See, that's interesting. To him, truth is God. Keeping the word is God. Holding the pratigya without breaking it is God. Jabali, you know Jabali? Not Balaji. Balaji is Rama. Here is a debate between Jabali and Balaji. Balaji is Venkateshwara, Venkateshwara is Rama. Therefore I said. Anyhow, Jabali was a sage, also a priest in Rama's court, in Dasaratha's court. In Chitrakuta, he sees Rama and Bharata converse each other. Jabali ridicules that conversation. And he also says, why are you talking always about Dharma, 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 Dharma? Clinging into Dharma. Give up that Dharma, yaar. Chhod do, yaar. And take the kingdom. You don't know politics? This is what Jabali says. There Rama responds. Because Jabali asked this question, have you seen Dharma through your eyes? Have you seen Dharma? If you have seen Dharma, show me that Dharma. If you have seen Dharma, what is the height and weight of the Dharma? And what's the color of Dharma? White or black or red? And I want to know the quantity of Dharma, measurement of Dharma. Jabali ridicules in this way. Rama smiles. Have you seen Dharma? Rama says, yes, I have seen Dharma. Pratyagatmam idam dharmam satyam pashyami, upasthitam. Yes, I have seen Dharma. I see Dharma. How? It cannot be quantified, but you can understand what is Dharma by seeing a society which lacks Dharma. Just imagine, in a country, most of the persons, most of the convicts and witnesses lie in a court. In a country, most of the loan takers start to lie. Then you can see a very huge chaos featured with corruption. We all talk about corruptionless state, corruptionless state, corruptionless state. What do you mean by that? Just by talking that, we are not going to accomplish. Okay. If a state has to be corruptionless, we should not break pratigya. Then only a state can be corruptionless. See, people are planning me to crown me. The king is planning me to crown me as the next king. But if I am getting coronated based on this corruption called pratigya breaking, then the whole thing will get collapsed. Now the pratigya is done by our father and the king. It's my prime duty to safeguard this pratigya. For this, I am going to forest. I am not only giving up my kingdom, but also I am going to forest. In this prime age, This is the age for enjoyment. At this prime age of delight, I am going to forest for 14 years. And I am going to spend my life in austerity in the forest. If I am not going to do that, if I am going to break my pratigya, people will start to follow me. Yadvrittas santi rajanaha, tadvrittas santi hi prajaha. This is what Rama says to Jabali. See, I belong to the family of a king, and millions are watching me. Millions are seeing this royal family. And if I take this course, now all people are crying, "Oh, Rama, please accept the kingdom." And Bharata is in the peak of devotion. He also cries. Even the great sage Vasishta advises Rama to accept the kingdom. Seeing all these things, if I am ready to accept the kingdom, people will be very happy. They will rejoice like anything. Bharata will be overwhelmed with joy. I will come back and I will be coronated. After that, after getting coronated, I have to sit in a court. Some convicts will come and some witness will come. If they start to break that pratigya, who is responsible for that? First of all, before getting into government, I should be clean. Correct? If I have corruption in me, how can I give reward or punishment to the innocents and the convicts, criminals? It is quite impossible. Even for an ordinary man, he becomes responsible for keeping pratigya, keeping his word. And I belong to the royal family, watched by millions every day. People, whether it is good or bad, people take me as exemplary. People take the royal family as exemplary. Generally, people take their leaders as exemplary. Children follow their parents. Employees follow their employers. Servants follow their boss. Even in their virtues and vices, they reflect their boss. This is how it is. Why he is selfish? He has to be selfish because his boss is selfish. What to do? If he is not selfish, he will be deprived of so many things and the boss will cheat him. And why this guy is selfless? Because he is seeing every day that leader who is selfless. See, we have examples for all these things in the world. So it's a very great responsibility for me to keep my word, to keep my father's word, not even his word. This pratigya is not the pratigya of Ramachandra. This pratigya is a pratigya of whom? His father. Niyukto guruna pitra nrupena cha hitena cha. I am responsible to keep this word for several reasons, says Rama. Dasharatha is my guru. It is a Shishya's duty to keep the word of Guru. Guruna. Dasharatha is my father. And it is a son's duty to keep the word of father. Niyukto Guruna Pitra. Then he says another, see, here is a new dimension. Nrupenacha. Dasharatha is the king. And I am a citizen. On those days, revering king is a very important part of patriotism. So this proves Rama to be a very great patriot too. Okay. See, through me, if it is established that our Kosala king is a liar, it is a very great dishonor for our kingdom. So many things ran, even in English history, through patriotism. Okay. Unfortunately, in the medieval age, so many genocides, so many holocausts, everywhere in Australia, in America. It's a past history. Of course, we correct ourselves and move further. That's a different thing. We become gentler, nobler. We learn from the past history. Okay. And these guys, they sacrificed a lot for your information, leaving their wonderful nation, traveling to several thousands of miles somewhere in the forest, sitting there like a Columbus, in a different kind of climate, different kind of forest, staying somewhere in some tents. Why they did all those things? If you ask them, they will say, patriotism. Okay, my country, not only that, my king, my queen. So, queen and the country are identified. They are identified. So, the same Ramachandra is telling. But Ramachandra doesn't talk about genocide or Holocaust and all. He says, if I break the word, if I break the pratigya of my father, he is not only my father, he is a king. If I break the pratigya of my father, then it means that king has broken his pratigya, king has become a liar. Then it brings a very great dishonor to my own state or kingdom or country or nation, my empire. This Kosala Desha is dishonor for our Kosala Desha. You know, long back I'm telling, USA president, he committed a mistake for which he was brought to the court. And I was amazed at the time with Americans, because Americans were not even sad for that particular mistake which the president committed. They were ready to forgive him, but they couldn't tolerate some other thing. What's that? He came to the court and broke his pratigya. He said, I will tell only truth in this court. And he said, I did not commit that mistake. Hope that you all remember. I don't want to name that president. Okay. It's a very long back story. Before I think some 25 years, the story happened. Okay. People couldn't tolerate at the time what? Our president should not be a liar. See? Because that's a reputation. The one who is a president should have some basic fundamental values in which truth is extremely important. This is the expectation of the people of USA on those times. Hopefully, even now they are like that. So the expectation, because through that lie from the leader, all people may become liars and corruption may start. A very fundamental qualification, we should be truthful. More a country is truthful, more the country gets developed. In Sanskrit, what's the word for development? Abhyudaya. Okay. Dharma has two dimensions, Abhyudaya and Nisrayasa. They say. This is a definition of Dharma. See, development is one of the definitions of Dharma. Two dimensions Dharma has. Nisreyasa means spiritual welfare. Abhyudaya means social upliftment. But there is a very subtle difference between development and Abhyudaya. Aya means movement. Please understand. Aya means movement. Udaya, Utaya means movement upward, which is nothing but development. Our elders, the Shastrakaras, could have stopped with Udaya. They go further and they have added a prefix Abhi. Abhi Udaya Abhyudaya. Okay. They never considered, they never talk about development at all. For them, with only this prefix, they talk. Abhi Udaya means development around. Wow. It's not my own development. My own development is not at all considered. Okay. Here and there, our Prime Minister says, what is that? Sabke saath, sabka vikas. This is Abhyudaya. And our Shastrakaras, almost in every Shastra which defines Dharma, say Nyaya Shastra or Chanakya Niti, and even in Vedanta, see, Vedanta is more towards Nishayasa, but it also, Shankaracharya, for example, in the preface of Bhagavad Gita, talks about these two dimensions of Dharma, or these two paths. To him, they are paths. Okay. Abhyudaya and Nisreyasa. And he also considers Abhyudaya. He is in the path of Nisreyasa, but he honors Abhyudaya. This you can see in several places. Development around. Sabka vikas. Sabke saath. Okay. So to accomplish this development, okay, this truth is very important. If the leader is in not truth, the subjects or the people also will follow that. Therefore, being a leader or being a person belonging to the king's family, I should be double-fold or thousand-fold responsible to keep the word. This is the statesmanship of Rama. This is not just obedience. I am not telling this is not obedience, but it is not just obedience. Okay. All other reasons are only sub. All other reasons are only secondary. The primary reason for Rama's exile is Sathyam. And this is beautifully brought by Maharshi Valmiki in the very first chapter. Sajagama vanam viraha. Next word, pratigyam anupalayan. Then only Piturvachana nirdeshat. Finally, Kaikeyav priyakaranat. All other things are also accepted. Pratigya Manupal, to keep Pratigya, Rama went to forest. Also due to his father's command, also to gladden Mother Kaikeyi. The first reason is Pratigya, first reason is Sathyam. Rama doesn't give up it. And this Satyam is always relevant. Satyam is not relevant nowadays. This is nonsense because in the court, criminals can be found by camera and also by photography, video. There are various other evidences. There is no need of any witness. And a lie detector. And that criminal has written by himself a letter, okay, in which he said, I only killed that guy. All these things are there. So with all these evidences, a criminal can be proven a criminal without any witness. On those days, they did not have these equipments, therefore they relied more upon that Satyam or Sakshi. Nowadays, Sakshis are not required. One may argue, no. See, all these things can be disproven based on the eloquency of the lawyer. Okay, not liar. Okay. Only the eloquency of lawyer will win. All these things can be disproven. If you bring a video or camera, the convict can tell that this is only a morphing. If you bring audio, he can say, this is a mimicry, it's not my voice. Everything has an answer. If you bring his own handwriting, he can tell, police threatened me to write like this. Finished. Then the police will be punished. Poor fellows. All these things he can tell. Is he a convict or not? To find this, there is only one way. Is he a criminal or not? What's the only one way? The criminal knows. And the witness knows. If they don't lie, you can find out. Okay. If the whole society follows the path of truth or pratigya, then these witnesses in the court will follow the same course. Then easily the convict, a criminal, can be found. This is a very simple way to find out the criminal. This grip should not get lost. Establishing this Sathyam is called as Ramarajya. Finished. Ramarajya is not a new concept. Gandhiji talks a lot about Ramarajya. Don't think that Gandhi brought this. Gandhi followed that ancient course. Sant Tukaram talks about Ramarajya. And Samartha Ramadas, his whole life passion is Ramarajya. Goswami Tulsidas dedicates some 30 verses for Ramarajya in Ramcharitamanas. At the fag end of Lanka Khand, the beginning of Uttarakhand, in Ramcharitamanas. And these great souls, for a long time in our India, we all talk about this Ramarajya. The foundation of Ramarajya is that pratigya, Satyam. Even at the end, Maharshi Valmiki says, Rame Shasati na Anrutaha. While Rama is ruling, there is no corruption. Why there is no corruption? Because the people kept the truth, kept the word. Why the people kept the word? Because the king is keeping the word. Rama keeps the word. By keeping that pratigya only, by protecting that pratigya only, Rama remains up to our times a very great and matchless icon, not only of India, but also of the whole Asia. Rama in Thailand, Rama in Indonesia, Rama in Sri Lanka, the countries around India, Rama in Nepal. You can see Rama even beyond sects, castes, creeds, and religions. Okay, how? See, the highest Muslim population in the world is found in which country? Indonesia. Next to the India and Nepal, Ramayana is prevalent, most prevalent in which country? The same Indonesia. Once a Islamic religious leader came to Indonesia. At that time, government itself organized. The government officials, all of them together, they were inviting him with a Rama song. He was surprised and he asked, being Muslims, how are you singing this about Rama? He's just asking explanation decently. At that time they said, Islam is our religion and Ramayana is our culture. Okay. This is revealing. This is very interesting. Okay. What does it show? It shows Rama continues always to be the icon. Why? Is it due to his genocides and the Holocaust? No. Due to this story of keeping the word, truthfulness. That's the thing. Okay. And when you come to Bharata, Rama, he doesn't have even a single doubt while he is renouncing the kingdom. Can I go back? No. He's not thinking like that anywhere. Anywhere. That's why I'm telling, even though Ayodhya Khanda is devoid of miracles and supernatural elements, the only unbelievable thing in Ayodhya Kanda is the sacrifice of Rama. This is the Atimanushya. Loke Lokottarair Gunaihi. Not only you see that sacrifice in him, but also with others. As soon as Sita hears about Rama's exile, she sacrifices everything and goes with Rama. Sita may go because she is his wife. Why should Lakshmana go with Rama? Lakshmana also goes, he also is a prince. He has all royal pleasures in Ayodhya. Giving up all those things, why should Lakshmana follow Rama? Lakshmana also may go because he is Rama's brother. Why should all Ayodhya people should follow him? Rama couldn't control them. He manages to get away from them while they were asleep in the bank of river Tamasa. See, why should Rama, why should these people follow Rama? Why should these people go with Rama? Is there any other story where people of a whole city go with Rama? Sorry, go with a king. When king is going to the forest. I was reading through Shakespeare's drama, King Lear. Very moving, very tragic. In the winter of Denmark, King Lear lost his kingship. And he is roaming in the street. Okay? He did not go to forest. He is only in the city. Roaming in street to street, he is roaming. He couldn't get a shelter. See, Denmark, which was ruled by the same king. He is not a villainous king, may not be very great, virtuous and all. He is a normal person. But he couldn't get a shelter. You compare this story with Rama's story. When Rama is going towards forest, all people of Ayodhya, they all move with Rama. A very unimaginable description of Valmiki, matchless poet. I don't know how he described this. Valmiki says, when people rush towards Rama, a huge dust was raised, okay, and that dust was leveled by their tears. This is a matchless description. Okay. So the sacrifice of people, sacrifice of Sita, sacrifice of Lakshmana, and the sacrifice of even Guha, a tribal leader, he says to Rama, please don't go to forest. I am offering this kingdom to you, this tribal kingdom. You can be here and rule all of us. And a sacrifice of Rama's own servant, minister and charioteer. Who is that? Sumantra. Finally, When Sumantra is leaving Rama in forest, he cries and he also wants to follow Rama. Somehow Rama manages to console Sumantra and sends him back. This story of sacrifice never doesn't end here. It continues. Rama did not go to Dandaka forest, even though he had that plan. He's staying in Chitrakuta still. Why? He knows Bharata will come. Only after consoling Bharata, I can go to Dandaka forest. If I enter into Dandaka forest, Bharata may feel very difficult to find me. After consoling Bharata, I should enter into the forest. He's staying in Chitrakuta, waiting for Bharata. And Bharata, only for the sake of Bharata, Rama sacrificed the kingdom. When Bharata came to Ayodhya, he could have felt, "Ah, wow, wonderful. Without any effort, I got this kingdom. How nice it is. Let me rule this kingdom." Bharata did not do that. Bharata cried in the court. Khatam Dasharatha Jataha Bhavet Rajyapaharakaha. O Gurudev, is because Vasishta requested Bharata to take the kingdom. Bharata says, I am not a thief to steal this kingdom which belongs to Sri Rama. He goes to such an extent to tell the story cannot be understood easily. He goes to such an extent and to tell one property cannot rule another property. Rama has two asserts. One is Kosala kingdom and another one is me. Rajyam cha aham cha Ramasya. And anyhow, Rama has to come here and accept this kingdom, no other go. For which I am planning to go to the forest. Whoever wants the rule of Rama can come with me. All people are extremely happy. See, he could have pretended in that way. Just a kind of pretension. What's the pretension? How can he accept all these things? Then all those who are in court, they have to cry. No, 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 you alone have to accept it because Rama will not come back. Then he could have accepted. But it's not a pretension. He literally means that. He literally means that Rama has to come and take the kingdom. For which he goes to Chitrakuta. He is in search of Ramachandra. He goes to Chitrakuta and falls at the feet of Rama. Rama is steadfast. Rama cannot be changed. He understands it. The devotion which I have to Rama, the same kind of devotion Rama has to truth. Therefore, he will not return. What am I supposed to do? I should learn from Rama. What should I learn from Rama? The devotion. The devotion which he has to truth. I should have to Rama. So Rama will not come back. What am I supposed to do? Already I have done a pratigya. What's that? Till Rama comes back, I will also wear only the tree barks and I will also have matted hair. I will also remain as a tapaswin. But that's not the pratigya of your father. Dasharatha sweared that Bharata would become the ruler. Bharata knows that. Bharata will not break the pratigya of Dasharatha. Regarding Bharata, what he feels is, I will not give up my rulership. If Rama doesn't come, I will govern, I will rule, but I will not take the royal pleasures. Right? I will take all responsibilities and take care of the kingdom. But I will not accept the royal pleasures. That is my vrat, that is my vow. He says this to Rama. It is your command and my father's pratigya to go back. And I learn from you this sthita prajna lakshana, if you have to call in the words of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita talks about sthita prajna. Okay. The same is spoken here regarding Rama. Yatha mrutaha, tata jivan, yatha sati, tata sati. Wonderful shloka. Bharata says to Rama, O Rama, you are great. No pleasure in the world can excite you, and no tragedy can make you to fall, because you are still. You are still. Okay. To you, yatha mrutaha tata jivan, death and life are one and the same. Pleasures and miseries are one and the same. See, this is the seed of Yoga Vasishtha in Valmiki's Ramayana. Natvam pravyathayet dukkam pritirva na praharshayet. Being your younger brother, can't you learn this from you? Therefore, I will be. I will also live only in a hut. And I will also lie only on a mat, not on a royal bed. I shall sit only on darba grass. Till Rama does all these things. Okay. Rama should remember always, even after killing Ravana, Rama says, what he says? Bharata is waiting like that. Therefore, I should run there. I should rush. Rama should be triggered. Otherwise, he will be some masa. Even after 14 years, chalega. After a month or two, we will go back to Ayodhya. He may take that stand. I should not allow Rama to do that. He should have in his mind, what? Bharata is waiting there. Panka digdastu Bharataha jatilomam pratikshate. Okay. Or jatilastam pratikshate. With matted hair and tree bark as a robe, my brother is waiting there. Therefore, I am impelled to run to Ayodhya. Not to run, but to fly. Rama says in Ayodhya Khandam. So, Bharata is staying like that in a small hut in Nandigram, a small village. From that place, he is taking care of the whole of Kosala kingdom, no doubt. And a very, very interesting thing he did, just in 5 minutes I'll conclude. Most important element, brilliant idea. He did not go back just like that. He goes and falls at the feet of Sri Ramachandra and requests Rama to give his sandals. Adhiroharya padabhyam paduke hemabhushite yete hi sarvalokasye yogakshemam vidhasyataha. Why he is asking for Paduka? When you go through several scriptures of our Hindu religion, it is clear that when a disciple gets separated from a guru, this disciple doesn't bear that separation to console that Shishya, Guru offers Paduka. Rama offers Paduka to Bharata, Krishna offers Paduka to Uddhava. The great Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offers Paduka to Vishnupriya, because Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes sannyas. He offers Paduka to his wife, Vishnupriya. And because she is not only wife but also Shishya, that's very important. Samartha Ramadas offers his Padukas to his disciple Uddhava Goswami, which is still now there in Panchavati, Thakali Ashram. In all these places, when Shishya has a feeling of separation, to bear that pain, Paduka is offered by Guru to Shishya. Here also, Rama is Guru and Bharata is Shishya, therefore, offering Paduka is wonderful. But doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop here. I did not call getting Paduka from Rama a brilliant idea for this reason alone. Bharata gets Paduka. Here he says, Yete hi sarvalokasya yogakshemam vidasyataha. He is getting this Paduka because he is going to rule Kosala kingdom. He is going to govern the state. While governing the state, he feels that I feel should not be there. I am the ruler. I am governing the kingdom. I am the emperor. That I feel should not be there while governing the state. Therefore, I am taking this Paduka so that while ruling, I can feel Rama Padukas are ruling. This is only Ramarajya. See, if I rule the kingdom, if Rama comes back and takes the kingdom, it will become my Uchishta. Which one? Kingdom. Rama should not take my prasada. Right? Therefore, after Dasharatha, Rama alone has to rule. Therefore, Padukas are ruling, because I don't see any difference between Rama Padukas and Rama. Padukas are none other than Rama. Sita doesn't see any difference between Rama's ring and Rama, right? Bharata Rama Samprapta. Rama doesn't see any difference between Sita's crust jewel and Sita. In the same way, here Bharata sees no difference. He takes this Paduka to the kingdom and coronates those sandals. 6:30 or 6:40? Okay. So, he coronates those sandals. Here also there is a very interesting thing. If you see in a TV serial and all, he coronates Rama Padukas in the court of Ayodhya. He places the sandals upon the Singhasan throne. But Maharshi Valmiki doesn't describe like that. See, kingdom is very big. I myself cannot resolve all these things. See, taking some sandals and placing on the throne, how many of them will accept? How many of them will reject? Who knows? And we need to conduct a meeting. Can the sandals be placed on? See, now this is a story of several gods. Rama is a god, Bharata is another god. So we accept all those things. You just see this as a history. In Ayodhya Khandam, how this, Rama is a brother, elder brother. Bharata is younger brother. And Bharata is bringing the sandals to Ayodhya. Will people accept or not? bringing sandals, they will appreciate. But if these sandals are kept upon the throne, and if Bharata announces they are the kings, and if he coronates, and if he makes Maharshi Vasishta to anoint the Padukas, because he has to anoint, he's a priest, chief priest, all these things will be accepted. So, okay, anyhow, like Dasharatha, before coronating Rama, Dasharatha gathered the people and he's asking, I plan to coronate my son. Is that okay? He's asking. Like that, Bharata also can commence a meeting, can bring the people, can bring the leaders, representatives, and do all these things. No. Bharata doesn't do that. Bharata doesn't do that. See, taking Padukas as the rulers of Ayodhya is my personal thing. Please understand, this is purely my personal. I am not compelling anybody here. Okay. This is a bhavana. Bhavana, how to translate in English? Can be translated as feel, not feeling. Feeling is different. There is a word, feel. You can't find this in dictionary, but we use it. It's a feel of Bharata. I need to eradicate this ego. I am the ruler. I am the king. This has to be eradicated. Rama Paduka rules. Rama Paduka is a ruler. This bhavana I have to inculcate. Therefore, may I do this ritual, coronation ceremony, not by having people, not by inviting people. I will perform this Pattabhisheka, Paduka Pattabhisheka, in my small hut in Nandigrama. This is the feel of Bharata. And he says to Maharshi Vasishta, anyhow, I can't stay here in this huge palace. This is my pratigya. Till Rama comes, I have to be a tapasvin. But I will not give up the kingdom. Let me go to Nandigrama. From that place, let me rule the whole of Kosala kingdom, he says. And goes to Nandigrama. Placing these padukas upon his head. Is going to Nandigram, Tatas Sirasi Krutva. When Bharata is going, here Valmiki makes a statement just like a sutra. Balam che tad anahutam. Millions came there uninvited. The word uninvited has such a potential. Only for that word I gave all these interpretations. Okay. Even though Bharata took it to be very personal, he himself must have been surprised to see around that hut which was made for Bharata in Nandigram, around that hut he could see millions. Nobody is there to refuse it. All the people in Ayodhya naturally accept Rama Paduka. Naturally accept. Bharata did not dictate. Okay. They all wanted to participate naturally in this coronation ceremony. Therefore, the whole of Ayodhya and the whole of Kosala kingdom is standing here with Bharata to partake. Of course, the coronation ceremony is going to happen within that hut. But we all should go there. We should be in that sannidhi. Not even a single CCTV to see that Paduka Pattabhisheka, Paduka Rajyabhisheka. But the people around, they are standing. Bharata, within the hut, he is anointing Padukas as the rulers of Ayodhya. Bhraturvachana कारी चे प्रतिज्ञा पारगस्tada पादुके तु अभिषिच्याथ नंदिग्रामे वसत्तदा सवालव्यजनं छत्रं धारयामास सस्वयं भरतः शासनं सर्वं पादुकाभ्यां निवेदयत्. He offered the whole of kingdom to Padukas. Not only that, whenever whatever scheme comes there, whatever project comes there, he offers them to Rama Padukas, then only he takes and goes through it. Because Ramapada Upasprusan Nandigrame Karodrajyam Rama Gamanakankshaya. Touching the feet of the Lord, Rama, he is ruling the kingdom. This is what Valmiki says. For all 14 years. This is a matchless sacrifice, really speaking. It's not just a pretension. One who pretends may go to see Rama and get also Paduka, and he will live in Ayodhya with all royal pleasures. Even if Bharata does this, nobody is going to oppose him. Up to our times, that also will be appreciated. We will sit and listen to Ramayana if Bharata does it. See this tremendous amount of sacrifice, that kind of selflessness of Bharata. He gave up all the materialistic pleasures and he is with the Padukas ruling the kingdom after 14, waiting for Rama for all these 14 years. After 14 years, Rama returns. When Rama is returning, Bharata is overwhelmed with joy. Bharata invites Rama. Rama got seated. Bharata goes and prostrates before Rama. With clasped hands, he offers these Padukas. Again, he reunites Padukas with the lotus feet of the Lord. With clasped hands, Bharata says, you made me in charge of the whole of the kingdom, my dear brother. And this kingdom, I am giving the, what to say, accounts. Okay. The departments, the divisions belonging to this kingdom, this government, Dhanakosha, Dhanya Kosha, they have got developed manifold. Kritam Dashagunam Maya. Dashaguna you can't take in literal sense. Dashaguna means 10 times they got developed. You can't take all the divisions can get developed only 10 times. It's not like that. Tenfold, hundredfold, manyfold. Manyfold, all these departments of Kosala kingdom got developed. By, he's not telling, I developed all these things. He's telling, Bhavataha Tejasa Sarvam. This is the greatness of your Paduka. Due to your splendor, due to your grace, this, due to the grace of Padukas, and that's why Swami Desikan says, Prathito Raghava Paduka Prabhavaha. Bharata is best among the devotees of Rama. Bharataya param namostu tasmai prathamodaharanaya bhakti bhajagam yadapagyam ape aseshatah prativyam pratito raghava paduka prabhavaha. All other devotees, they are after Rama, they run after Rama. Only Bharata revealed the greatness of Rama Paduka to the world. Therefore, he is best among all the devotees of Ramachandra, says Vedanta Desikar. So, that great devotee, Shri Bharata, may we pray Lord Krishna to have at least a drop of Bharata's devotion to Rama. By that, even our whole life can get fulfilled. Not only that, let us pray Ramachandra also to have a drop of commitment towards his truth. Okay. We should at least have some sincerity, some devotion to the truth for which he made such a tremendous sacrifice. So, with this prayer, let us conclude. Jai Sitaram.